Probably kind of got used to this, right, though? This is how spring starts.
Yeah, I mean, the buzzing gets a little louder each year from the lights, but you know, once you hit this point, you know there's about 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're outside and in the sunshine states usually, and the ball looks a little bit bigger than in here.
What do you guys hope to accomplish just with days like today, these first days of the season?
I mean, we can do basically everything we do outside. I mean, we live scrimmage in here. I mean, there's no outfield, there's a full infield, but you know, everything is put in. You know, defensive-wise, bunties, first and thirds inside. So there's really nothing holding us back from, you know, being ready February 14th.
Since I've been in college, it's actually been one of the coldest winters I've ever been a part of. I'm from South Bend, and I mean, it's always been cold there. So right now, it does not feel like baseball. But being inside here, it brings you a little bit back to reality. You know, being at the season coming up in 2.5 weeks, it gets you ready for it.
You guys have to be pretty thankful for this facility, I would guess. As Sean was saying, you guys get to do pretty much whatever you want in here to some extent. Whatever you could, almost what you could do on a field.
Yeah, basically the only thing that we can't do in here for me is like we can't take like live outfield balls, which once we get to like Tennessee, when we do batting practice, the outfielders are just strictly in the outfield taking fly balls the whole entire time. But that's really the only thing we can't do. Everything else in here we can do. We do live infield and all that, which is good for us. Gets us ready for be down south and play against the southern teams who are out all the time.
What's the vibe right now, just as far as what this team expects to accomplish this year, and where you think you guys are made up as far as taking a step up from last year?
Well, last year was kind of like a down year for us, as you could tell, but this year we have our team chemistry is really high right now. We're feeling really good about this year. Everybody seems pretty excited to get the year going, and especially after the last year, we want to come out with a bang this year. So right now we're pretty excited and we're ready to get going on.
Are you excited about getting this season started and you know, being able to rebound as a team from what happened last year?
Oh, absolutely. You know, last year was, I don't know how to put it, it wasn't good. You know, it was really disappointing. We had high expectations going into last year, but this year it's going to be a lot different. Same group of guys, you know, sophomore heavy, so I think it's going to be a lot different this year. I think we'll surprise a lot of teams.
How important was the experience not only that you got, but the rest of your class got, going through last year and making all those mistakes and things?
I mean, I think that makes a big difference, experience. You know, playing in big-time games. We played a lot of big games last year, and with our schedule, as tough as it is early on, I think that's going to play a big role, especially because a lot of sophomores are going to be playing.
Has this offseason been a lot different?
I would say it's been a lot different, but the leadership's better. And I mean, the team's just closer this year than it was last year, for sure.
Is that pretty natural, you think, coming off the kind of year you did and, you know, having a bunch of guys back that were on last year's team?
Yeah, I would say so, because we went through a year together, and we know what to expect coming into a fall ball and now in Mollenkopf, so we know what to expect, and that's definitely has something to do with it.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I can't wait. Cannot wait to get back out there.
So does negative 30 feel like baseball weather?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's for us, it's part of the equation. So we know that you know, it's when it gets to 0 and minus degrees, it's time to start practicing baseball up here. So, but luckily we're inside in Mollenkopf, and they've got the heat on for us. But yeah, we're going to look for that first chance to get outside and at least get out, start off on the football turf and get used to some of the weather situations. Just because when we open up, we're going to open up in Tennessee, Knoxville, and it's not going to be too much warmer probably down there. So.
Would it be sleeves or no sleeves today?
Sleeves for practice, sleeves for walking to and from my car, but no sleeves for a game.
There you go. What sort of things do you try to do as a coach to try to combat that disadvantage, obviously, from just not being able to get outside?
Well, I think the advantage, because I've coached at warm weather schools and I've coached at Arizona State, and I think the advantage of going inside is that you do break the game down a little bit more. So we will work a little bit more maybe on our bunt game and our short game and some of the defensive plays and the bunt defenses and things that when you're outside, you just kind of go through the flow of, being able to have the open space and the team batting practice and some inter squads where I think here we can still work a little bit more one-on-one because we are confined somewhat. And so I do think that that's an advantage from a teaching standpoint, from an actual game experience and seeing live balls off the bat. I mean, our outfielders probably haven't seen a true live ball off the bat since October. So, but we always reference that as it's very similar to riding a bike. I mean, you'll be able to hop on it and figure it out, in a few short minutes. And they'll be a little wobbly at first, but, hopefully they'll still go into the leather.
Are fly balls really the only thing you're deprived of in here?
I think so, really, because our infielders get a live look off the bat, our pitchers get to pitch in an open air environment, our hitters are able to hit the ball and run bases and work all of that. So it really winds up being, the one part I think that is missing.